Hi, hello everybody. Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. How you doing, everyone? Yay! Probably one of the most distinctive intros we've ever had. Instantly recognisable. If you don't know what song this is, it must have been on a different planet 7 years ago now. We're just over 7 years ago. Late 2012. Which means it's time for That's What I Call Music 83. Originally released November 2012. Just over 7 years ago now. Here's a song that's probably one of the most viewed I've ever seen in my entire life. Certainly doing these. This one actually tops 3 billion views. Woo! Not only that, this song was actually described by Barack Obama as an example of how people around the world are being swept up by the Korean wave of culture. And it's possibly the first and only Korean song, that's South Korea, to make a now. Certainly to open one. So is this the first K-pop single? Gangnam itself is a suburb of Seoul. And the Gangnam Style is the sort of the way people in Gangnam sort of do their business. We're very much in the internet memes era now. Where would this song be without Facebook? But in terms of what this series is actually looking at, which is songs that have had a real cultural impact, this is right up there at the top. And obviously songs that have had a cultural impact is not necessarily the same category as songs that are artistically good, although there is some overlap. Because to have an impact, you've got to have something about you. Certainly got a good build-up. It is a good song. It's a really good song. Even Boris Johnson, who was Mayor of London at the time, said that this was the greatest cultural masterpiece of 2012. So anything that gets Boris Johnson and Barack Obama singing from the same page, it's certainly cross-political. Yeah, I kind of want to jump around the room to it and put it online, but I won't. I'll just talk about it and put that online instead. Anyway, how on earth do you follow this? With Robbie Williams and Candy. First solo Robbie single for a while. Although if you take that empire, the Mafia, has been dominant constantly. It's Gary Barlow who's been doing the honours recently with his housewives, his military wives and stuff. Candy sees Robbie back in the driver's seat. It's not one of his best. It's not like the stuff he was doing at the peak of his solo career. But equally, it's not too bad. You can always guarantee Robbie will have something interesting. It's a bit kind of, well, as the name would say, candy. It's a bit kind of sugar sweet, a bit saccharine even. So it's okay, but it's not one of his best. Now, next up, we've got our old friends, Swedish House Mafia. And John Martin, Don't You Worry Child. And I think this is probably a fairly good way of following Gangnam Style. So yeah, take it away, guys. Now, this has had, under any normal circumstances, what would be an astronomical number of views. 679 million. So 2/3 of a billion. And it was this final single or something. I think it feels like it's the end of an era one. It's pretty good, actually. It's not the last song on this album to suffer from this awful synth sound that I'm going to be getting more and more frustrated by. But that's only a small bit of this song, so I'm not going to write off the whole thing over one sound. I'll point it out when it comes in. It's nice and soulful, though. John Martin's in good voice. Nice build up. Here we go. I certainly know how to do dynamic stuff, and of all this sort of club stuff over the last few years, I would say Swedish House Mafia, probably just about the best of the bunch. Latest in a long line of great Swedish pop music. Here we go. No, not quite. They tease you a bit. Yeah, there's been an awful lot of really good Swedish stuff these last 5 to 10 years. Stuff like Robin and Alphabet. Well, that's a few years ago now. God, it takes a while to really get there, doesn't it? But it's still kind of building. Sounds like that's from their last ever gig in the UK. Finally. But it's those synths that I'm getting a bit sick of by now. Let's be honest, you first heard those synth sounds on Sash Encore Une Fois, 97. So that's a good 15 years ago now, yeah. And I'm getting mighty sick of them. But like I said, there's more to this song than just those synths. Okay, Taylor Swift. We are never, ever, ever getting back together again. Never, ever, ever. It's a bit crass, isn't it? It's not exactly poetic. But, you know, she certainly tells it as it is, I guess. We are never, ever getting back together again. I don't feel that's really one that I'm in the demographic for. But I try and look beyond that. And even looking beyond that, it's pretty ropey, really. Hasn't got a proper song. Marina and the Diamonds last time, Prima Donna, was such a good pop melody that I went on their YouTube and said it's probably the best pop melody of the 21st century. And I'm using that as a benchmark now. Let's see if anything else has got as good a melody as that. Certainly not Taylor Swift. Certainly not I Found You by The Wanted. Alright, their last one was the worst on the album. This one's not quite that bad. But it's nothingy again. Calvin Harris and Florence from Florence and the Machine. Florence Welch. Sweet Nothing. I think Calvin's kind of past his peak by this point. Florence's voice really wound me up on You Got the Love. I don't think it suits that song, but actually most of her other stuff I've liked her vocals. And it's probably the best bit about this song, to be honest. One More Night, Maroon 5. That's lining up to be probably one of their worst yet. Okay, now here's a big group of people. Wiley, I'll get this one on. Wiley, Skepta, JME, and Miss Dynamite, aka Miss D. And the song, can you hear me? Yeah. I think I might have put one too many yards in there. Actually, it's that bit that's the worst bit of the song, I think. I really like the kind of rhymed bits, which is JME and Wiley and Skepta. I don't really like, even though I do like Miss Dynamite as a person, I think she's great. Well, I say as a person, I've never met her. I like her musically. I don't really like the chorus of this. I like these sort of steel drum sound, but then they kind of mutate into that synth that I don't like. I suppose it's quite clever how they changed from a steel drum, a steel drum, to a synth. But I kind of prefer it when it just sounds like a steel drum. I don't like this bit. I didn't need this. It's too derivative. And it doesn't stack up against Prima Donna in terms of melody. Nothing does. It's not a very good melody. It's nothing. It's like, oh, Wiley, you didn't need to do this. Skepta, you didn't need to do this. JME, you didn't need to do this. Miss Dynamite, you didn't need to do this. You don't need someone just going, yeah. You guys are too talented. So, a bit of a sellout, I feel, with this one. Okay, now talking of sellout. Flow Rider and I Cry, which actually uses an interpolation of a very, very old song from back in the 80s. Brenda Russell, I think it was. Piano in the Dark. That's the best bit of that one. A 20 or even 30-year-old song. Flow Rider's bits are a bit derivative. No, Let Me Love You. It starts off well, but yet again it ends up with those shitty synth sounds. I mean, it's really getting to the point where I'm going to put a sledgehammer through one of those synths if I hear it ever again. How much to just ruin the sound. It's a shame because Neo started off doing some really, really good stuff, but it's just become more and more homogenised. I'm really not enjoying this album that much. Owl City and Kylie Rae Jepsen, good time. Oh god. Oh no, no. Warm, flat, Diet Coke. Not even Diet Coke, Diet Cola. Diet Panda Pops. Oh god. Just what I need now is Katy Perry, Wide Awake. Bit slower than normal for her. I like these rhymes. It's just the AA bit. Katy Perry, Wide Awake. Nah, nothing to say. It's slower than normal, but it's meh. Pink, Blow Me. One Last Kiss. It's probably got the worst lyrics I've ever heard. Let me just check I've got them right. But it's something like, I've had a shit day, you've had a shit day, we've both had shit days. God almighty, is that the state of music now? I really am getting too old for this album, I think. It's funny because I didn't feel too old for the last one, so I don't know what can happen in a few months. Yeah, I've had a shit day, you've had a shit day, we've had a shit day. It's just so unpoetic, unlyrical. You think I'm just too serious, I think you're full of shit. Everything's shit with her, isn't it? She's got a bit of a shit fixation. That's Pink. Okay, Wings, Little Mix. It's okay, it's not too bad. But equally, it's just second rate. It's not too... Who the hell? And this is where I don't think it's me getting old. Because, like, say you're 14, anyone watching this, or 15. Even though these videos are technically aimed at adults, I don't mind anyone watching them. They're fun for the family. So let's just say anyone out there is 14 or 15, just getting into music for the first time. You've got a long journey to go ahead of you guys. Take a listen to Wings by Little Mix and tell me if you like it. Because I would posit it's not just about being too old, it's about even younger people who don't remember it, they won't like it either. It will literally only appeal to people who were there at the time. So it's not bad, it's just totally unmemorable, totally not a classic. Right, even Stoosh have been really good up to this point. I'll stick it on so you can judge yourselves. This I think is their weakest moment so far. Primarily because it's a cover of a TLC song, which was one of the classics of the 90s. Is it a case of just being like, oh, not as good as the original? Or is it actually critically, objectively worse? I don't like the beat as much. In fact, it takes ages to even get a beat. The TLC beat was a really, really nice beat, one of the finest of the 90s. That's probably why they covered it. You know, the song was originally co-written by Paul McCartney. He did a song called Waterfalls, which had bits of this, but it was slightly different. And then TLC kind of rewrote it in this version. In their favour, they have got good voices. They sing it as well as TLC, I'll give them that. I don't think they sing it any worse. Still taking time for the beat to come in. Actually, it's not that much worse. It's a bit more obvious in terms of the instrumentation. The TLC one was very kind of jazzy, had nice muted horns on it. It was quite kind of bleary. Well, alright, this has got some horns on it. It's a bit too up-tempo, I think. I don't know. I'm interested to know what you guys think. It's a bit too kind of chirpy somehow. It doesn't quite have the kind of like sadness that the TLC one had. Just not a total disaster, but on balance, I don't like it as much. Right, Hottest Girl in the World, JLS. I liked a couple of their songs, but this is dire. Right, another one that's okay, apart from that bloody synth sound. It doesn't need to be in there. Everything else in the song's okay. It's just really superfluous. It's Nicki Minaj and Sound the Alarm. And I actually prefer the alarm sounds to the synth sounds. I like sort of they give it a kind of like emergency feel, if you like. She's a bit annoying, but she can rap well. I'll give her credit where credit is due. It's one of those compulsory ad ones, so we'll keep Stoosh on until it comes up. It's just these bloody synths. But anyway, You judge yourself, guys. I don't want to be a stuck record like the Sims. I like the rest of this song. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. It's okay. Quite a fine line between being okay and annoying. And I think that's the trick to good pop, in fact. I like the bass. That's great. And I like her flow in this bit. I really like this. Sounds good. Yeah, lyrically it's probably totally vapid. I'm not judging it on his lyrics. Okay, I like this build up. I like the drum feel. Yay. There's bloody synths again. Get a different sound, guys. I don't think you even need this bit of a song. If it was me, I'd edit this bit out. And straight from that build up, I'd go into this bit. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to do an edit like I did with Plan B and She Said. If it'd gone straight from the build up into this, I totally missed out that awful synth bit. Be a better song. But it's had 245 million views as it is. You can always just go and make a cup of tea when that bit comes on. Alright, there we go. Me telling Nicki Minaj how to make her songs better. Red Light is a dance one that doesn't rely on that. Lost in Your Love. Not the best, but it's not the worst. I like the pianos on it. How We Do, Party, Rita Ora, Meh. Cheryl, Under the Sun. At least it's a different kind of beat. It's more kind of funk and breakbeaty. A bit slower. So that was okay. Wiley and Misty, they're back with Heatwave. Kind of like the other one. Maybe not quite as good. Okay, now it's Sam and the Womp, Bom Bom. Right here, right now, that sounds... Alright, that sounds horrible. Now this along, this would sound really good drunk, but even sober I like it. I can pop along to this after just a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. As for Bom Bom by Sam and the Womp, without alcohol, it's horrendous. Alcohol might help with that one. Okay, it's got some trumpets and stuff, but her voice is just really, really horrible. So good old Labyrinth and Emeli Sandé. Finally some class. So it's a bit of a curious egg, this Nicki Minaj one actually. I like it more than I don't like it. It's only the synth I don't like. It really is. Okay, that was that. Now, I'm not going to sound the alarm. I'm going to sound Beneath You're Beautiful by Labyrinth and Emeli Sandé. Yeah, nice stuff. Starts with Labyrinth playing a piano and singing. He really is a man of many talents. And so is she. So yeah, nice song. Okay, we follow this one up with... Right, okay, here's a strange duet. The Script and Will I Am and Hall of Fame. It's another empowering song. It's certainly an interesting collab. It brings out the good side of Will I Am. I like how it sounds more Script than Black Eyed Peas in a way. It's like definitely him just guesting on it. And they're a really talented bunch of guys, really. And it's a very uplifting song. Good lyrics, good message. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, we follow that one up with Florence and the Machine, Calvin Harris remix. So, hold on, let me get this straight. We had, Calvin featuring Florence, Sweet Nothing. And now Florence featuring, a Calvin remix. Bit of a tit for tat thing going on there. Spectrum, Say My Name. I don't know the two which I prefer really. I think possibly this one. It's okay. Right, I had high hopes for Getter and Thea and She-Wolf. Seeing as Titanium was the best song on the album it was on. I think it was now 81. This one's really nowhere near as good, to be honest. What a disappointment. It's just not as good. It's not as good a song. Nah. Really disappointing. Okay, Calvin Harris, yet again, an example. Now, I made a goof earlier, about 5 videos ago. I think it was the first example song, and I said he was American. He's actually from London, so I do apologise. I won't apologise for saying it was shite. He's not shite, it's just that song was. This one's okay, we'll be coming back. Not too bad, not too brilliant. Now, Ellie Goulding, anything could happen. I'll get that one on, because at least that's different. Uplifting sounds here from Labyrinth and Emeli Sandé. We'll follow this one up with Ellie Goulding and Anything Could Happen. And knowing Sod's Law, it probably will. Yeah, great stuff, that one. Possible contender for Song of the Album. I have done that before with Emeli Sandé. Have I given Labyrinth Song of the Album yet? I think he's due one. He's been almost there with a lot of them, so that's definitely a contender. Now, this is another one actually, yeah. I hate to go on about Marina and the Diamonds, but it set a benchmark for good pop melodies. This one doesn't quite live up to it, yet again. Ellie's got a magnificent voice. Definitely one of the best voices for ages. And it's definitely got a good instrumentation. Yeah, it's certainly different. It's very different. It's just not got a melody that's as good as Prima Donna. I'm going to say that pretty much every song coming after this, just because it was so good, really. But this is not bad at all. Definitely another contender for Song of the Album. Okay, Naughty Boy, and yet again, Emeli Sandé, Wonder. Yeah, that's good as well. It's maybe not as good as the one with Labyrinth, but it's good. Connor Maynard and Neo, Turn Around. I didn't realise quite how young Connor Maynard is. He looks tiny. He's definitely better than Justin Bieber. Of the two, they're compared quite a bit. It's just not quite as obviously teeny bopper, but it's in that ballpark. But it definitely transcends. Unlike One Direction, Live While We're Young, I lasted about 5 seconds of that one. It's just musically naff. Chris Brown, Don't Wake Me Up. Don't Wake Me Up, Chris. I'll fall asleep to that one. You Bring Me Joy, Amelia Lily. No. Fun, Some Nights. It's adequate. I like the kind of drumming on it. Big kind of almost military rhythm. That's okay. Say Nothing, example. Again, it's okay. A bit of a shitty rap in the middle. Taking Over Me, Lawson, meh. Carmen, Broken Hearted, meh. Trey Songz, Simply Amazing's okay. Fairly good instrumentation on that. I like that. Yeah, it's not so much the melody I like. Synths are a bit annoying. I wish someone could have got a better synth sound. There's so much you can do with synths. Why are you picking something that sounds like really sort of tinny? Synths can sound like anything. Even Enrique Iglesias used ping pong balls to make a beat. That was inventive. Her voice though is great. Anyway, yeah, Trey Songz. He didn't need to use those shitty synths. Simple Plan featuring Sean Paul. Summer Paradise, meh. Angel, wonderful, that was quite good. I'll get that one on. Right. Angel was not who I thought Angel would be. For some reason, I thought Angel would be a blonde woman. But no, Angel is a black dude. So, you know, everyone's got their own kind of angels, I guess. Now this song is all over the shop, but it kind of all fits together. It's all like almost every verse is in a different genre. So you've got this sort of drum and brassy kind of beat here. Good melody. He knows how to write a melody. And then you suddenly get these rock guitars that come out of left field. And yeah, it's dynamic, it's interesting. It's not cookie cutter preset synths. Doesn't need it. This is a bit dubsteppy. You can just hear the difference sonically. Doesn't sound like all the other songs. It's got its own sound. So if it was just Sonics, this would be a contender for best of the album. It's definitely original. If there's some acoustic guitars. Right, now here's a really controversial one now. Really controversial. I'm going to play it. I haven't decided if it's atrocious or if it's brilliant. I don't think it is atrocious, actually. I'll say that. It's too easy to say that. And as a lot of people said in the comments, it's not a Jimi Hendrix song. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Devlin and Ed Sheeran, Watchtower. So yeah, it's all along the Watchtower. And I mean, I love the Hendrix version. It's a Bob Dylan song. I actually prefer the Hendrix cover. Now, you have to go back, if you want a bit of musical history here, to what people used to say about Bob Dylan himself, just by adding wow, an organ and electric guitars. i.e., if you took the most acoustic song on this album, which is probably one of the ones coming up, Mumford & Sons or something, if you took one of the most acoustic sounding songs on Now 83, that's still more electric than Bob Dylan going electric. Yet when he did that, he was Judas. Because he was like uber folk back in the day, literally a guy on a guitar. And the minute he stuck that guitar through an amplifier and put an organ on it, oh my god, electronic music. So fast forward 30 years, someone's rapped over Watchtower. Is it really that different in terms of approach to music? No, it's not. So in terms of aesthetic, I'm actually kind of bopping along to this one. It's kind of punky. I really like Ed Sheeran's vocals on it. He does sing it really, really well. The guitars are great on it. It's just kind of messy. And Hendrix is messy. And it hasn't got shitty preset synths on it. So from being not sure about it, I'm actually wondering if it's a contender for best song on the album. It just seems to have the kind of punky spirit. Yeah. And as I said, I've only had a cup of tea. I've not even had anything alcoholic. And I feel like jumping around the room to this. It also reminds me of With Nell and I, one of my best films of all time. And if I want to hear the Hendrix original, I can always watch With Nell. So yeah, nice one, guys. Really, really impressed. And I know there's going to be a lot of haters for it. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Now, talking of Mumford & Sons, they're about as acoustic as you get on this album, but even more electric than Dylan. And that's I Will Wait. Yeah, good song. Really good song. And finally, a song that I'll play because it definitely had cultural importance. It's actually a fairly old song. I think it was a few years old. It's Elbow and One Day Like This, but it had a revival when it was performed at the Olympics ceremony. Wonder what Boris thought of it. Did we know back then in 2012, when Boris was Mayor of London, he'd be Prime Minister? I'm not talking about whether that's good or not. You guys decide. We're steering clear of party politics on these videos. If there's any bias and any kind of like debate, it will be about whether Hendrix or Devlin did a better version of All Along the Watchtower. I'd call it... I mean, I think I probably still prefer Hendrix's, but I do like that Devlin one. So, yep, it's Olympics time, and it's Elbow and One Day Like This. Okay, and they're from Bury as well, just the other side of the Pennines on the M62 from here. So, what's the real standout songs from this one and Now 83? Well, I feel like I've fast-forwarded through quite a few. Gangnam Style, definitely. I mean, it's totally gimmicky and meme-ish, but, you know, it is what it is, and it's had an incredible 3 billion views. And everyone from Boris Johnson to Obama's had something to say about it. Fair play. Right, Don't You Worry, Child. It's possibly one of the Swedish House Mafia's best songs. Certainly one of their best known. I guess in America, but I really found it hard. Taylor Swift, We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. Not very good at all. Right, then there's a load that really aren't very good at all. Waterfalls, adequate cover by Stoosh, but not as good as TLC. God almighty. Labyrinth and Emeli Sandé, Beneath Your Beautiful, yeah. Hall of Fame, Script and Will I Am, yeah. Spectrum by Florence and the Machine, I guess so a bit. Very disappointed by She-Wolf by Getter and Sia. I liked Ellie Goulding, Anything Could Happen apart from some of the sieves. Naughty Boy and Emeli Sandé, Wonder, that's okay. Any more awful ones or cookie cutter ones? Trey Songz, Simply Amazing's okay. Then Angel, Wonderful, that's one of the best on the album. Watchtower, also one of the best on the album. Devlin and Ed Sheeran, I like it. I Will Wait by Mumford & Sons, that's pretty good. And this one, very anthemic, certainly reminds me of the Olympics. Elbow, One Day Like This. So, that's now 83. And next time, we come up to 2013, only 7 years ago on the dot. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, bye.